Essentially, he could be his get-out-of-jail-free card when it's all said and done.
Oh, I don't even think Kevin thinks like that. I think Kevin would rather get fired than play Shedeur at this point. That's the way it feels. I'm not saying that's definitively what it is.
The thing is, I don't think Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. The thing is, he has no clue what he's looking at quarterback. And to be truthful, the quarterback they got is not a franchise back. He's not even a starting quarterback.
Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, has been fired from calling the offensive plays for the offense for the Cleveland Browns.
Kevin Stefanski, what are we doing? Can we make oh my God. Can we make a genuine movement to get this guy fired as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns? Analyze today's game. First off, whole game, just horrible play calling all around. The Browns suck. If he 3rd and 15 and you throw a screen.
Cleveland's losing its mind again because, and for once, it's not the weather or another quarterback curse. Nope. This time, Kevin Stefanski looks ready to lose his job on purpose, just so Shedeur Sanders doesn't touch the field. What kind of coaching logic is this? Buckle up, this one's insane.
Kevin Stefanski will now relinquish his play calling duties, and now Tommy Rees will assume the duties. And man, I tried to tell you guys that Kevin Stefanski had to take a look in the mirror, because now Kevin Stefanski is being exposed all around the board. Now we've seen what Joe Flacco has been capable of doing ever since he was traded from the Cleveland Browns. And a lot of people have put all the blame on Kevin Stefanski for his play calling and for the quarterback that he has in the game.
Something wild is happening in Cleveland because Kevin Stefanski might actually prefer getting fired over letting Shedeur Sanders start a single game. It's like he'd rather wrestle a snowplow in January than hand over the ball to a quarterback who actually knows how to throw it.
Kevin Stefanski is never going to give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity. He's not. And I think I understand the assignment now. You look at this game, and Kevin Stefanski is almost like the captain on the ship of the Titanic. He's going down with the ship. His way, nobody else's way. Myles Garrett just set a franchise record with 5 sacks in a game, and they lost 32-13.
And the funniest part? Nobody's even pretending it makes sense anymore. This isn't just stubborn coaching, it's full-blown self-sabotage disguised as strategy. Stefanski's walking around like the guardian of some secret prophecy. No rookie shall rise while I still have a clipboard.
And if Kevin Stefanski made the decision to bring Tommy Rees in and it hits, why do we care? We don't care if Kevin Stefanski want to sit there and be a coach, because guess what I got? I got Jim Schwartz, who's going to be the captain of the defense. We know what he can bring to the table. And if we can find Tommy Rees, who's going to be the captain of the offense and bring some innovation and his own set of knowledge to the game, then I'm all for it. Because Kevin Stefanski can hang around and just sit on the sideline. I don't know, you want to hang out at meetings? Now you got to do is more about timeouts and clock management.
He's treating Shedeur like the forbidden fruit of the NFL. Untouchable, dangerous, and somehow responsible for everything wrong with the Browns since 1999. Meanwhile, the entire city's sitting there like, buddy, you've tried everything else.
You think that Shedeur starts a game or Kevin Stefanski gets fired? What happens first?
I don't think we'll see Shedeur at all this year. He don't like him. Like, I don't know if you ever had a situation where you trying to tell a girl, I just don't like you. I'm just not into you, without being mean. That's what he does. If you watch his press conferences, he don't say nothing bad about Shedeur. He don't say nothing really good about it.
Yeah.
He don't say nothing promising, encouraging, right? And it's like, so when you ask me this question, I don't think we'll see Shedeur. Everybody's talking about this kid. Let's find out how good he really is.
Yeah.
Put him in the game.
Maybe it's time to try not losing for once. But no, Stefanski's on a mission. He's the kind of guy who'd rather build a Lego version of the offense out of spare tight ends than let a talented young quarterback run it. It's pride, ego, and denial all rolled into one perfectly mediocre playbook. At this point, it's not even about football. It's about a man fighting destiny.
I'm not doing charity work here. I'm not doing charity work for Shedeur Sanders, and by the way, he doesn't need it, and I'm sure as hell not doing it for the Jets. Make me a real offer. And so for Shedeur, okay, a third and a future fourth, or 2/3. All right, maybe. But if you really want Shedeur, if he is the miracle salve to save the Jets, you come with a 5th round offer, you're going to get laughed out of the NFL.
Well, and that's what Evan needs to hear. Evan Roberts, the guy in the clip, that's what he needs to hear. A fifth-round pick isn't going to be anywhere close to getting it done. It just makes no sense for the Browns.
Cleveland's quarterback situation has been cursed longer than most fans have been alive. But somehow, Stefanski thinks the curse will break by keeping the one promising quarterback on the bench. It's like watching someone try to fix a sinking ship by closing their eyes and saying, "We're fine." You can almost picture the team meetings. Everyone's looking around like, "Coach, are we seriously doing this?" And Stefanski's over there drawing up another 5-yard slant to nowhere, convinced he's reinventing the game.
The Browns again. Head coach Kevin Stefanski in the news as he announced he is giving up play calling to offensive coordinator Tommy Rees.
Hallelujah.
Now the second straight season in which Stefanski has given it up. And fellas, before I even get to the question of this, how in the world do you as a head coach of a football team call plays one year? I was unaware that this is what happened. He called plays one year, wasn't good enough to continue doing it. You have someone else call the plays, and then you're like, you know what? The next year, I'm going to hire a new OC, and I'm going to still call them joints.
Shedeur could walk in, light up the practice field, hit every throw, and Stefanski would probably just nod and say, "Good hustle, but let's stick with tradition, failure." And let's be honest, this isn't even shocking anymore. Cleveland's been through so many quarterback disasters, they could start a museum.
I hear what you're saying from a quarterback perspective, but what pisses me off to you is Kevin Stefanski does not like Shedeur Sanders. He argued against taking him all the way. The owner overruled him and the GM in the 5th round. He had already taken Dillon Gabriel 50 slots higher. Shedeur finally went to Cleveland. And in this case, it's the principle of Kevin Stefanski getting away with saying publicly, "No, Joe Flacco's my second quarterback now. He's my backup quarterback." And the line from Stefanski was, but somebody said, "Well, what about Shedeur?" "My focus is on the game. My focus is on the game," because he keeps dodging questions about Shedeur.
Stefanski's just the latest curator of chaos, making sure the Browns remain historically allergic to success. The irony is wild. The one guy who could actually bring energy, skill, and swagger to the franchise is being treated like a threat to national security. It's like the Browns fear competence. They'd rather have drama, chaos, and endless "what went wrong" press conferences than admit someone new might actually fix things.
I think this is Kevin Stefanski's way of soft launching a breakup with the Cleveland Browns, because there's no reason for a 2-time head coach of the year, mind you, an offensive-minded 2-time head coach of the year, to give up your play calling ability. Last season, he gave up his play calling ability to Ken Dorsey, and the Cleveland Browns went 1-7 following those games. I'm not really sure if giving up his play calling ability this season is going to do much with that offense that they have to work with. The wide receiver room is one of the weakest, if not the weakest in the NFL. You still have Dillon Gabriel starting. I don't think it matters who's calling the plays. I don't think any plays are going to work with what you're working with.
Meanwhile, Shedeur's probably sitting there wondering if he accidentally signed up for a sitcom instead of a football team. The man's ready, confident, and hungry. But nope, Stefanski's over there clutching his depth chart like it's a sacred scroll. He'd probably let the mascot take a snap before giving Shedeur a shot.
I've never seen a coach remove himself from play calling duties because a 3rd-round quarterback wasn't capable of getting the job done. How does Kevin Stefanski skip over benching the quarterback and seeing if the backup quarterback or the quarterback behind him can get the job done, and saying, "You know what, it's my fault. Let me remove me and get you another offensive coordinator that can help you be successful"? When did you ever see it? Maybe for a 1st rounder, yes, that had, high grades on everybody's board and, the potential is crazy. But for a 3rd round, 5-10 quarterback, he steps down from play calling duties.
And every week, the script writes itself. The offense stalls, the defense collapses, the fans panic, and Stefanski still acts like everything's going according to plan. It's the Cleveland way. If something looks too promising, find a way to ruin it. You almost have to admire the consistency.
What he's been given to work with hasn't been the best, and over the last 2 seasons, the Cleveland Browns have been pretty horrific, but at some point you do have to make a change, and I feel like the change is going to be Kevin Stefanski's job. Now, my next question to follow that is, who would want to coach the Cleveland Browns? Who would be willing to come into this kind of mess and have to work with it? You would have to be a football psychopath to want to come in and try to make this work. Finally, I do think a lot of Browns fans are excited by this news that Kevin Stefanski is giving up the play calling, but I don't know what kind of change you're expecting. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. If it does, I will be the first to admit I was wrong there, but I just don't see it being that significantly different.
But here's the twist. This kind of chaos always ends the same way. The fans get louder, the losses pile higher, and eventually, the head coach runs out of excuses. You can feel it coming. That slow, awkward realization that maybe, just maybe, the rookie everyone ignored was the answer all along. By then, though, it's too late. Stefanski will be packing his desk, still mumbling something about trusting the process. And the best part? When Shedeur finally gets his shot, because he will, it's going to look effortless.
He's not saying it. There is no reason, but I have a reason. If it was never obvious before what the Browns are doing to Shedeur, it is obvious now. Kevin Stefanski removing himself as the offensive coordinator is a clear indication Shedeur is being played with. These are things that I am looking at. What can we do better? Stefanski said of his decision via Jeff Scorgill of the News Herald. I have a ton of trust and faith in Tommy. He's more than capable. So excited for him. But bottom line is we have to just get better collectively.
But what do you think? Will Stefanski ever swallow his pride and give Shedeur the keys? Or is he determined to drive this team straight off a cliff first? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe. Because this Browns saga is just getting started.